Hey everyone. So today I wanted to discuss Joel Schumacher's absolutely perfect, I believe, 1993 film, and that is Falling Down with Michael Douglas, as well as Robert Duvall. And what this movie is about, if you don't already know about it, because this movie, despite how it has been released roughly 3 decades ago, it's just as relevant now as it was then, and the performances are just as strong now as they were then, and maybe this movie has even become more significant over the past few years, given the sort of social changes the Western world have been going through. So maybe there's an even greater need to keep this movie around. But anyways, what this movie is about is a dude played by Michael Douglas. We will call him Defense, because that is how he's tagged in the movie. His name is Defense. He doesn't have a name, and of course the character does have a name, but I don't want to say it here because I like the fact that he doesn't have a name, which just makes him more nameless. Sort of like, whenever I think of this movie, I always think of the song "At My Job" by the Dead Kennedys. I'm not entirely sure why, because technically Defense has already lost his job when this movie is started, and he's just kind of wandering around aimlessly, which that aspect of it also reminds me of Combat Shock. But what was I saying? I completely lost my train of thought. I was talking about how aspects of this movie reminded me of other movies. One of them was Combat Shock. Yeah, I've completely lost what I was going to say. But yeah, so Defense, he's out of work. He's lost his family because he is an ill-tempered, emotionally abusive / neglectful piece of shit. His ex-wife, has a restraining order out against him because he's kind of sketchy and he doesn't pay child support. And he lives at home with his mom, who he completely dominates, and she is absolutely terrified of him because his passive-aggressive anger doesn't seem to know any boundaries, and he just keeps getting consistently scarier and scarier throughout the course of not just the film, which he does, of course, just throughout the course of his life. It's like nothing really went to plan for him, and he is to blame, and yet he can't really see that. This is a discussion he has with Robert Duvall at the end of the film about how he did everything right, and now suddenly he's the bad guy. And he's pissed off. Like, I love the line that Robert Duvall says. He's like, you're doing all this because they lied? They lied to you? He's like, they lied to everybody. And then he points because they're at the pier by the ocean. He's like, they lied to everybody. They lied to the fish. It doesn't give you the right to go around killing people. Even though I will say that is the one aspect of this movie that I absolutely love. Who doesn't want to walk into a McDonald's with a fucking machine gun? Oh wait, that made me sound really bad. No, you know what? It's true. Who doesn't want to walk into a fucking McDonald's with a machine gun? I don't want to kill anybody, but who just doesn't want to shoot the place up? I mean, McDonald's is shit. Now, of course, technically it's not a McDonald's in the movie. It's like a big whammy burger or some shit. It's definitely not a big kahuna burger. But yeah, I mean, when he's got the little bazooka thing that he's about to shoot and cause that massive explosion during the traffic jam, that piece of shit that's screaming at everybody, who doesn't want to knock that guy out? And Douglas does. He's, and down he goes. Like, who doesn't want to do that? Who doesn't fucking want to shoot up a payphone when someone's getting on your nerves, saying like, well, I need the payphone, yeah, I'm on the phone, I need to use a phone. I mean, they've parodied that in so many movies because we've all been there. Not so much anymore thanks to the advent of cell phones, but back when I was a kid, I mean, I can't tell you how many times you're like, I need to use a phone, and this fucking person is rambling on and on about nothing, and you just wanted to set the whole thing on fire. So I do understand that, and I love that part of the movie. But the thing that I didn't love about this movie was how, to a lot of people, especially men, Defense was seen as the victim. Like, they identified with him in all the wrong ways. Like, I get it going after a business that's overcharging for the products, even though I disagree with the fact that he chose to victimize a small business convenience store owner. I don't think that's right. I think it would have been better had Defense went and smashed up a Walmart. Now, I know logistically that's never going to work because Walmart would have ample security and whatnot, so he wouldn't get away with it like he did at the start of the movie when he needed a quarter to make a phone call, so he smashes up the guy's convenience store. I still understand why he did it, but I just don't love that he picked on a small business owner, sorry. But yeah, a lot of men felt that he was the victim, and they identified with him more in the misogynistic sense that, like, you know, it's a man's world and a man should be able to do what a man wants. And I didn't love that aspect of the movie, and there has been a lot of that support has been rallied around this film as he's sort of like this regular guy who's everything's just going wrong for. And all these men that were sort of championing this character from that aspect, they were all failing to recognize that he was the architect of his own demise. Like, everything that fucked up in Defense's life was his fault. And these people that, like I said, were holding his character up so high, they were incapable of seeing this because, you know, people stuck in these situations usually don't see things clearly. They only see themselves as being victims, and therefore it gives them the right to victimize whoever they want. So I didn't love that. I didn't love how, like, the misogynistic aspects were sort of championed in all the wrong ways. I liked the misogyny in this. I liked how it suggested some really negative things about this being a man's world and how men are sort of allowed to behave more animalistic than women are. And I liked all that, but I just didn't like the certain percentage of the public's perception about how Defense was a good guy, because he definitely wasn't. Now, I will say a lot of people said he was complete shit because at the end of the movie he plans on killing his wife and daughter at the pier. But that's just not true, because the only gun he had on him was the water gun that he picked up from his ex-wife's place. So I don't think he was there to kill his family, like a lot of people suggested he was. I also liked the B plot, I suppose, where Robert Duvall and his wife are still struggling with the loss of their infant daughter a number of years prior. And how they still haven't really been able to let that go, and how Robert Duvall is still seeing his daughter here and there. I really liked that too. This movie has such... this movie is so heavy. There's such weight to this film. This movie is incredibly sad. It's incredibly well written. It's incredibly well acted. I believe everybody in this. And although on one hand, like I said, I love a lot of the things that Defense does. I love what he does to those fucking pieces of shit at the golf course at the end. Oh, man. And yeah, now you're gonna die wearing those pants, you know? I fucking love that. Like, who doesn't want to pull a shotgun out at some snobby fucking golf course, you know? God, I hate golf. It's like where I was going on and on about we're running out of room and there's too many people and there's not enough space to put them, and there's all these massive fucking golf courses sitting around so a bunch of fucking people can hit this little ball and chase it around this mammoth-sized place that we could clearly put fucking family after family after family. I mean, these places shouldn't be reserved for a game. If I'm not mistaken, we just hit 8 billion people. Convert golf courses into fucking living spaces, preferably for low-income families. That would be nice. Fucking golf. Like, I mean, I understand sports are important to a lot of people, and a lot of people like golf, but I just don't think it needs to take up that much physical space. Jesus Christ. But anyways, look, I'm gonna go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me for fucking close to 10 minutes while I discuss Joel Schumacher's 1993 film, Falling Down. If you liked this movie, or if you liked this review, don't forget to do something nice for someone. And if you like golf, I apologize. I really do. I respect people's choices to like the sports that they like. I just think it's a massive waste of space. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button, because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.